And the Lord began to minister to me to tell her, ask her whether she was the first person ever getting married in her family. And she said yes. So I went ahead and asked her, did you invest prayer into this marriage? I have a very special message to someone. I pray that this message meets you. Now this short message is for people that are the first time record breakers in their family, especially if you're the first person going to school, they invest in your family, if you're the first person getting married legally or on the altar, if you're the first person traveling, if you're the first person having masters, if you're the first person in your family that is breaking a certain record, this message, it's for you. Now pay attention. So I met this lady, very calm, collected lady, very beautiful, well-mannered. And I had an appointment with her, and our appointment was about her. We agreed, I had an appointment with her to see her early hours of her wedding. That would be a Saturday morning. I'll see her in my office and set her up and everything. Then she'll go back and have her wedding done. We agreed to meet at 7 a.m. I went for an all-night meeting and I came back earlier than that, so I was sleeping in my office when her call came through. And when the call came through, I opened the door for her. I think she left something behind, so she went back to the car whilst I was sitting down waiting for her to come in so I can lock the door, because it was early hours of the day and hadn't started business yet. But I was sleeping at the shop because I came back from church earlier. Now, I saw her walking in. Even though she was walking in, what I saw was different from what was happening. I saw shackles all around her feet and she couldn't move. She couldn't do anything. Even though she was moving physically, what I was seeing like somebody who was struggling to move. So I don't know whether I was imagining things. I don't know whether because I was sleeping and she knocked on the shop and all that. So I was like, okay, forget about this. But as I was preparing her hair, prepping her up, because I needed to finish early for her to go back. As I was preparing her, I had a very calm voice that as you are touching her hair, be praying for her. So she was trying to talk back to me, telling me all that. I kept nodding and I wasn't saying anything because I was praying. I kept praying for her for a while whilst touching her hair. So when I was done, I explained what I saw earlier when she was walking in with shackles all around her feet. And the Lord began to minister to me to tell her, ask her whether she was the first person ever getting married in her family. And she said yes. So I went ahead and asked her, did you invest prayer into this marriage? I mean, this thing that you are entering, have you invested enough prayer? And she was quiet for a while, and she said, well, my pastor prays for me. My mom too has been praying for me, and I also pray sometimes, so I know all is well. And I've been a lot busy trying to put things together and all that. And the only word that came out from my mouth to her was, you prepared for the wedding, but you haven't prepared for the marriage. And she was quite shocked because she wasn't expecting that from me. So I began to narrate to her what I saw and everything. And she said she's been fighting through it. Many people have cancelled on her. And she even thought I was going to cancel on her. As she's here, her dress is not ready. And nothing seems to work. I prayed with her from a sincere place. I prayed with her. The moment I began to pray with this lady, she began manifesting and her voice changed. You know, her voice changed and she started sounding like a man. And she said, as you pray for her, I am coming after you. Immediately, the fan above us, you know, that was working perfectly that early hours, went off and smoke started coming from it. My electrical meter blew up. The whole place was in chaos. I stood by her and I prayed with her and she calmed down. We managed to do the hair. She came back later to thank me for standing by her. Even though she went through hell, everything was successful. I don't know why I'm sharing this story with you today, but I noticed that sometimes some of us don't invest prayer into things. We run around trying to make everything look perfect or have a perfect day, but what gives us the foundation for that perfect day or perfect issue or perfect program or perfect journey, which is prayer, we ignore it. I don't know who need to hear this, but anytime you are the first person, and even if you are not, and you are taking a step to the next level of your life, prayer is the key. Prayer is what you need to invest in. Invest much more prayer than anything else, because the level in which you are stepping into, it's new. How do you step into a day you have not commanded? How do you step into an event that you did not organize, that you don't have overview of? How do you step into an occasion, a next level of your life that you have not prayed into, that prayer has not gone ahead of you? I just want to encourage someone that do not ignore foundational prayers. Do not ignore prayers that makes you, especially if you are not married now, if you are not doing anything, but you have plans of entering into another level of success in your life. You want to go back to school, you want to do something that people in your neighborhood, people in your family, people from your lineage has not been able to do. Invest prayer into it. Other than that, you know, what they battled that they could not because they were lazy, not because they could not. They couldn't. Not because they wouldn't want to, but they couldn't. And you are forcing to do it. Make sure that prayer goes ahead of you. Because you are breaking a generational curse. They will fight you to become like them. I pray for someone that you have the zeal to pray. I pray for you that you will understand that prayer is the key, is the foundation, is a determinant of your success. It is well with you as to sojourn on this earth. May God go ahead of you. May God be God in your life. Child of God, you are blessed. My name is Akua. It's an honor coming to you with the word of God every time. You are blessed and highly favored. Amen.